Synagogues serve as central institutions within Jewish communities, functioning not only as places of worship, but also as hubs for social, educational, and administrative activities. These religious organizations maintain significant autonomy in determining their membership, allowing exclusions based on criteria tied to doctrinal adherence or behavioral standards. This autonomy stems from protections that distinguish religious entities from public accommodations, enabling decisions on inclusion that align with spiritual missions. In the United States, for instance, synagogues can exclude individuals based on characteristics that would be protected in secular contexts, such as lifestyle choices conflicting with religious teachings, provided these decisions reflect genuine ecclesiastical matters. This framework underscores the balance between religious freedom and communal boundaries, where internal governance prioritizes alignment with Jewish values over universal access. The leadership structure in synagogues typically features a dual system, with a rabbi providing spiritual guidance and a lay president overseeing administrative functions. Boards of directors or trustees, composed of elected members from the congregation, manage operational aspects, including financial oversight and policy setting. These boards often include influential contributors, whose financial support can shape decisions on membership approvals and exclusions. Membership processes involve applications reviewed by committees, with financial commitments like dues playing a role in sustaining operations. This interplay highlights how economic factors integrate with religious priorities, ensuring synagogues remain viable while upholding their doctrinal integrity. Jewish identity encompasses a spectrum of observance levels, from strictly religious to culturally secular, influencing synagogue engagement. Denominations such as Orthodox, Conservative, and Reform offer varied approaches to practice, with Orthodox emphasizing strict adherence to Jewish law, Conservative adapting traditions to contemporary life, and Reform focusing on ethical principles and personal choice. Participation rates remain low among the broader Jewish population, with only a minority affiliating formally, reflecting a shift toward individualized expressions of identity. This diversity illustrates the multifaceted nature of Jewish communal life, where synagogues represent one avenue among many for maintaining heritage and connection. Governance and leadership in synagogues. Synagogue governance revolves around a board of directors or trustees, responsible for administrative and financial decisions, while the rabbi handles spiritual matters. This board sets policies on membership criteria, dues, and approvals, often delegating to subcommittees for detailed reviews. Presidents, elected from the board or membership, chair meetings and represent the congregation externally, working in tandem with rabbis to balance religious and operational needs. Such structures ensure democratic elements, with membership votes on major issues like rabbi contracts. Rabbis serve as primary spiritual leaders, delivering sermons, leading services, and providing pastoral care. Their titles remain straightforward, such as senior rabbi, without hierarchical ranks beyond emeritus status for retirees. In larger synagogues, multiple rabbis may specialize in areas like education or youth programs. Lay involvement extends to committees, fostering community ownership over synagogue direction. Financial contributors exert influence through board positions, where generous donors are often nominated due to their commitment. Bylaws require board members to prioritize the synagogue financially, creating a cycle where wealth supports leadership roles. This dynamic maintains synagogue independence while integrating economic realities into governance. Membership dynamics and financial influence. Membership in synagogues requires applications, interviews, and adherence to communal standards, with boards holding authority over acceptances. Dues, averaging substantial annual amounts per household, tie participation to financial capability, though need-based waivers exist. Non-payment can revoke voting rights, linking economic contributions to full engagement. Wealthy contributors dominate boards, influencing policies through pledges and endorsements. Their roles ensure budget stability but create indirect control over membership thresholds and priorities. This system reflects non-profit norms, where major donors shape directions without absolute power, filtered through elections and bylaws. Demographic patterns show higher membership among families with children, driven by educational programs like bar mitzvahs. Income levels correlate with affiliation, peaking in affluent brackets, underscoring how resources facilitate involvement. These factors maintain synagogue vitality amid broader disengagement trends. Diversity of Jewish identities and observance. Jewish identities span religious denominations and secular expressions, with Orthodox maintaining strict halakhic observance, including daily prayers and kosher diets. Subgroups like Modern Orthodox integrate secular life, while Haredi communities emphasize insularity. Conservative Judaism views law as adaptable, promoting egalitarianism in roles. Reform Judaism prioritizes ethical teachings and social justice, making rituals optional and inclusive. Reconstructionist approaches see Judaism as an evolving civilization, focusing on democratic practices. Many Jews identify non-denominationally or culturally, expressing heritage through family traditions rather than formal worship. Ethnic subgroups include Ashkenazi from Europe, Sephardi from Spain, and Mizrahi from the Middle East, each influencing local customs. Secular Jews, often atheistic, connect via culture, history, or nationalism, forming a significant portion of the population. This spectrum enriches Jewish communal life beyond institutional boundaries. Participation rates and global variations. Synagogue affiliation stands at around 1/3 of U.S. Jews, with weekly attendance even lower, concentrated among Orthodox groups. Orthodox Jews exhibit high engagement rates, often exceeding 80%, due to religious obligations. Non-Orthodox participation remains sporadic, limited to holidays or events. In Israel, attendance surpasses U.S. figures, with over a quarter attending weekly, driven by religious minorities like Haredi and Dadi. Secular majorities participate occasionally, influenced by national culture. Global patterns mirror this, with Orthodox leading engagement worldwide. Higher rates in observant communities stem from doctrinal emphasis on communal prayer. Secular expressions dominate outside these circles, highlighting Judaism's dual religious and ethnic nature. Participation thus varies by observance level and context. Reasons for limited synagogue involvement. Non-attendance primarily arises from lack of religiosity, with 2/3 citing disinterest in organized religion. Many express Jewishness through alternative means like cultural activities or ethical pursuits. Younger generations particularly note insufficient knowledge as a barrier. Financial costs deter some, especially lower-income households, though this affects a minority. Feelings of unwelcome occur infrequently, more among intermarried or diverse families. Practical issues like time constraints or health play minor roles. These factors reflect broader secularization trends, where home-based traditions suffice for identity maintenance. Holiday observances persist without institutional ties, indicating resilient cultural bonds amid declining formal participation. Donors and active participants. Financial contributors largely consist of synagogue members, providing the majority of donations to Jewish causes. Orthodox donors prioritize religious giving as an obligation, while conservative and reform focus on programs and education. Wealthier households and families with children lead in contributions. Participation aligns with donation patterns, involving observant Jews in services, volunteering, and leadership. Families seek educational opportunities, boosting involvement temporarily. In-married households show stronger ties. Denominational variations see Orthodox dominating regular attendance, with others engaging selectively. This sustains synagogues through committed subsets, despite overall low affiliation. Networks and inter-synagogue connections. Synagogues operate independently, without hierarchical control, affiliating voluntarily with denominational bodies for resources. Reform synagogues connect via unions offering curricula and support, conservative through assemblies for standards. Orthodox link through councils for policy and certification. Rabbis network professionally through conferences and associations, sharing sermons and guidance. Lay leaders connect via retreats and online platforms, exchanging governance practices. These voluntary ties enhance operations without compromising autonomy. Broader communal organizations coordinate fundraising across denominations, fostering collaboration. This ecosystem supports individual synagogues in addressing challenges like engagement and finances. Historical affiliations of prominent families. Certain families maintain long-standing ties to specific synagogues, supporting their development through leadership and funding. In England, affiliations with United Orthodox congregations involve presidencies and rebuilds. Philanthropy extends to buildings and programs, reflecting traditional roots. Modern descendants show varied observance, with some aligning with reform institutions. Involvement focuses on heritage preservation rather than daily worship. These connections highlight intergenerational commitment to communal institutions. Global philanthropy influences synagogue vitality, funding expansions and initiatives. Such support integrates family legacies with religious infrastructure, sustaining historical significance. Synagogues of the ultra-wealthy. Ultra-wealthy individuals affiliate with prestigious synagogues, often reform or conservative in major cities. Reform congregations attract financiers through historic grandeur and elite networks. Weddings and events occur in these venues, blending social and religious spheres. Orthodox options draw Zionist donors, emphasizing doctrinal alignment. Philanthropy supports anti-Semitism combat and community centers, extending beyond attendance. Secular-leaning billionaires engage culturally, invoking teachings publicly without regular participation. These affiliations elevate certain synagogues financially, funding renovations and programs. Elite congregations thus become symbols of influence within Jewish networks. Prominent synagogues worldwide. Wealthy synagogues feature affluent memberships and substantial endowments, concentrated in urban centers. Large Reform temples boast extensive facilities and budgets from high-profile donors. International examples serve expatriate elites with family-funded structures. Popular synagogues draw tourists for architectural beauty and history, like Europe's grand Moorish designs with memorials. Ancient sites attract for legendary ties and continuous use, enhancing cultural appeal. Notorious synagogues gain fame through resilience or events, symbolizing survival amid conflicts. Rebuilt structures represent communal endurance, while others tie to discoveries or attacks, marking historical turning points. Structural and ritual guidelines. Synagogue structures prioritize functionality for prayer and study, with arks holding Torahs and platforms for readings. Eternal lights and orientations toward Jerusalem maintain symbolic elements. Denominational differences affect seating and technology use. Rituals include daily prayers requiring quorums, with Shabbat featuring Torah chants and blessings. Holiday observances incorporate specific customs, fostering communal bonds. Etiquette ensures respect during services. Sermons interpret scriptures and events, delivered post-Torah readings for moral guidance. Styles vary by denomination, from textual analysis to social commentary. These elements integrate education with worship. Operational and financial frameworks. Religiously, synagogues host life cycle events and classes, led by rabbis and cantors. Committees oversee rituals, adapting to denominational norms. Community roles extend to charity and interfaith efforts. Organizationally, boards manage hiring and policies, promoting ethical governance. Democratic elections balance lay and clerical input, addressing modern needs like accessibility. Financially, revenue derives from dues, tickets, and donations, covering salaries and maintenance. Strategies emphasize charitable values, with endowments providing stability. These mechanisms sustain operations amid evolving participation. Conclusion: Jewish community dynamics. Synagogues embody the intersection of faith, community, and administration in Jewish life, adapting to diverse identities while preserving core traditions. Their autonomy in membership and governance reflects broader principles of religious freedom, enabling tailored communal experiences. Participation patterns reveal a shift toward cultural expressions, yet observant groups maintain institutional vitality through dedicated involvement. Financial dynamics underscore the role of contributors in shaping synagogue directions, integrating economic support with spiritual missions. Networks facilitate resource sharing without central control, enhancing resilience across denominations. Prominent affiliations and global examples illustrate how wealth and history converge to sustain these institutions. Ultimately, synagogues function as multifaceted centers, balancing rituals, education, and operations in a decentralized framework. Their enduring significance lies in fostering Jewish continuity amid secular trends, ensuring communal bonds persist through varied forms of engagement.